Thank you again for the opportunity to talk about this project. I always get excited talking about it because of the progress we are making. I'm going to be talking on behalf of various organizations who are involved in the project, and then our funders, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and USAID. I'll give you an update based on, oh, is it changing? Yeah.
Yes, it's changing.
It's changing. Okay, so I'll talk about some background information about GM. Thank God my predecessors have said a lot, so I will just rush through the partnership, the strategy we are using, and then the progress we have made in Africa, in Nigeria as requested, and then some challenges and conclusion. So let me go through quickly of the background. Please, I would like my audience to leave this meeting with this statement. If this is the only thing you take away, I will be very pleased from my presentation that for any food crop or food that has passed through regulatory scrutiny and has been approved are considered safe to eat. So issue of safety, let's forget about it. This has been mentioned by the World Health Organization, the Food and Agricultural Organization, the European Food and Safety Authority, and just we heard about NBMA talking about cotton cowpea. So this is it. At this stage, we are still talking of one trait, two traits. In Europe, they are having a variety of maize that has 5 traits put together and been tested to be safe for health, for human health, for environment. Now, the question of seed purchase and the benefit is always been asked, but we have seen globally, particularly in the developing country, that for every dollar you spend on buying seed, the farmer gains $5. Why would a farmer who will spend $1 and gain $5, 5 times of what is invested, would not want to invest in such a technology? Before Burkina Faso stopped growing their BT cotton, those farmers who were growing BT cotton were earning more than twice the farmers who were growing conventional, which shows the benefit of the technology, which we should carry away as message for our farmers. Now, I come back to maize. People always ask, why maize, maize, maize? Maize is so important because a third of our population feed on maize, depend on maize. And the consumption is so high, especially in East and Southern Africa, where Lesotho, for example, it consumes 120 kilogram per hectare per year. Here in Kenya, slightly more than 100 kilogram per hectare per year per person. But then, maize is one of the most sensitive cereal crop to drought. When there is drought, you lose almost the whole crop and you lose your investment. Of course, it becomes a big threat to food and nutrition security. Now, as you talk about a drought, you get this other problem of insects. The stem borer, Kwari Masara, as they will say in northern part of Nigeria. Farmers are very familiar with this picture, but even when you have a drought-tolerant maize like this particular one, you now find this bug coming in and destroying the benefit of the drought tolerance. In Kenya alone, they lose annually $90 million to this pest, stem borer. And coincidentally, that same amount of money the country uses to import maize into the country to meet the gap. So if you address the problem and solve this problem, then you can reduce and save foreign exchange for other things. So with this, we felt let's address this twin problem of drought and insect. Then this monster bug came in called 4-army-1. Farmers are familiar with it. It's so voracious. Within a year, 12 countries in Africa lost about 2.5 million to 6 billion rather, in 1 year because of the voracious feeding of this bug that could take up to 80 different species of crop, but mostly prefers maize. So we felt, let's address this problem. Now, the partnership, we've been existing for the past 11 plus years, since 2008. We started in 5 countries in East and Southern Africa, Kenya, Mozambique, South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. And then the products, when Ethiopia heard about the product and saw them, they got interested and joined the partnership. Nigeria also came in, is the youngest kid on board. Nigeria came in 28, just a year ago. Of course, we are partnering with CIMIT, this is Mill and Wheat Improvement Center, just like IITA East Ibadan. This is involved in developing maize in East and Southern Africa. Then we have a private sector that has made us, without it, I wouldn't be sitting here to talk to you about this technology. They donated their germplasm, global germplasm maize type to us, brought it on table for our breeding. They brought the drought tolerant traits and the insect protection trait, 2 of it. Dr. Ibeba mentioned about regulatory assessment that needs to be done, safety. They gave us all their packages related to safety, and we coordinate, and then we are there to deliver appropriate technology to farmers. Just quickly, we decided to use all the breeding strategies available in developing maize, brought it on table and apply. The whole idea is give our farmers in Africa, in Nigeria, options. If you want to go conventional, this is a product. If you want to go GMO, this is the product. So for 10 years, we developed over 120 drought-tolerant maize, which we call drought tego. Some of them are in the hands of the farmer. We say, okay, let's further enhance this drought tolerance by putting a protein they call co-shock protein, or some people will call it gene, from soil microorganism called Bacillus subtilis. The same, again, we say, okay, let's further protect it against insect by putting a protein that they simply call BT, or Bacillus thuringiensis, to make it drought insect protected based on these challenges I explained. So farmers can now have the option of going conventional or going transgenic. Now, you can see these lovely dishes here. These dishes that you see here is fermented with, it's a soy product fermented with Bacillus subtilis. Why am I bringing this here? This is the product Japanese have been eating for centuries. And Nigeria, those who know ogiri or dodawa, the same similar microorganism is used for the fermentation. So how can we say the product are not safe? Now, let me just go and see how we design this is done. I'll go the lower one, how biotech is done. Now, normally when you cross 2 plants, you get, like as I'm seeing here, you get a product which is called a hybrid. Of course, when you do that, it goes with what you want. Let's say it's drought tolerant or insect protection that is in here. When you bring it here, it comes with others that you don't want. So scientists have discovered a way. If this is, for example, this yellow one is the soil microorganism that we are talking about. It has the co-shock protein, this red one. Scientists have discovered how to take only this and just go to the right place of the material that you have that farmers love so much, but it's not drought tolerant or it's not insect protected. Then they put it there and the crop becomes drought tolerant or insect protected. The art of taking it there is called genetic modification or genetic engineering. And then the product is called GMO, genetically modified or genetic engineered crop or organism. This is simply what we are talking about. Now, to go back to the TELA, we say in this TELA, by 2022-23, we want to be able to initiate, secure approval, and initiate product commercialization in at least 4 countries in Africa by 2023. And we have 4 various components we are looking at. We are looking at how to develop the dossier that Dr. Ibeba mentioned about, the safety document that needs to be there. This is a huge document. The one we developed for Mozambique last year was 140 pages. We've just finished one for Ethiopia, 140 pages. What is contained is on safety, safety, safety. Is it safe to human? Is it safe to animal? Is it safe to the environment? This is what is contained in this dossier. This is the group that handles advocacy, outreach, working with OFAB to make people understand the technology and appreciate it. Then those who are the breeders who are involved in the testing, and those working with seed company to help to commercialize the product. Now, unlike other maize that we've been growing, normally you start with the national performance trial. After you've done all your breeding, you go and work with the National Seed Council of Nigeria to test it, and they release the variety and you go. But with this GM, because of the issue of safety, my colleagues have mentioned about how you start with confined field trial. Everything must be confined there. Don't take anything out. You must make sure the place is protected, that nothing goes out. Then when you have tested, it shows that it's efficacious, that it is the gene or the core protein that I mentioned, or the BT works. Then you compile a dossier on the safety that you present to NBMA. They have a team of experts who will study this 140 or 150-page document on the safety before they can permit you to go into the getting it to the level of farmers and approving for commercialization. This is the process, and it's a very long process and tedious process for materials to go out. I want my audience to understand, for any GMO that comes out and gets to the level of the farmer, it is safe, as uniform as the other material that are already there. Let's see pictures. Now, the progress in Africa. We started because we understood that this core protein in US at the time, they had discovered it and it was drought tolerant. We asked them to, this Bayer, then Monsanto, to give it to us, because drought is more of a problem in Africa than in Europe or in America. They gave it to us. We said, does it work in an African environment or not? Let's see whether it works. We put it, the gene, as I explained earlier, put it, the core protein, we put it in the maize, and we found that in our environment, it could convert drought tolerant. But when there is no drought, there is well water, you could even see a crop with 2 ears. So in the US then, they had an average of 8 to 10% yield advantage, but we got, our own was quite good, 8 to 14. This gave us encouragement to proceed with the technology. Now, we say, okay, the BT, does it give insect protection? Let's see whether it works in our environment. We inserted it again and test under confined field trial. It hasn't gotten to the farmers yet because we have to follow the process. Now look at these photos here. This one is the one that had the BT. This one is the one without the BT. Now the one with the BT, you are getting a yield. If, for example, I am the one growing this and Alex is growing the one with the BT, if Alex gets 152 bags, I will get 100 bags. What happened to my own 52 bags? Mine is eaten by stem borer. The bug I mentioned, not the 4-armyworm first, the stem borer itself. At that time, 4-armyworm hadn't come when we did this study. Now, if I am mischievous, I will go and start blaming Alex, that Alex has used witchcraft to destroy my own maize. You may laugh at this, but this happened in South Africa last year. If you want to read more about the story, just Google. It's not witchcraft, it's TELA. It's not witchcraft, it's TELA. You will read the story, very interesting story of how a farmer was almost killed by his community because he used BT technology, while all others lost their crop to 4-armyworm at the time. Now, we then say, okay, so it works singly, it works singly. The BT works, the DT works. What if we put it in one single maize? Will it still work? So, okay, let's test and see whether it will work, because farmer doesn't know whether there will be drought at this time or the pests will come. So if you have a product that combines both drought tolerant and insect protection, then that's a good product for you. So we did that, and the first testing we did when we put them together was in Uganda. When we put it, we saw this one was looking very good, but this one was eating. Why was it eating? It wasn't stem borer. The pest looked different, and that was when 4-armyworm came. So they took the sample and analyzed and found that, oh, this is a new bug, but then the product, this one is clean, which means this product that we have that has this BT also protects not only stem borer, also this new pest that is called 4-armyworm. We said, okay, that's one country, maybe it's a chance. Then we looked at Tanzania. We see the same product combined together. We see this is the GM, the non-GM. The yield advantage was double. So if you have very high infestation of the pest, both pests together, stem borer and fall armyworm, you see huge impact gain. Then we say, okay, those were two countries. Let's say in the other country, Mozambique, does it also work in Southern Africa? We did that and we see again more than double yield advantage. And then the one with the drought, when we tested under drought again, you saw more than double the yield, which means this technology works. So why shouldn't we take this technology to our farmers? That's the question. Then in South Africa, our product called TELA has been commercialized with farmers since 2016 because the regulation, everything, South Africa has been growing GM for the past 20 years and they are enjoying it. Now look at these two fields. Look at this one, the GM. This is under drought condition because they've been bred as drought tego to be drought tolerant, and then they protected it inside in case the bug comes in. This bug came in under natural infestation of fall armyworm. This is lost and this is standing under drought. This is the beauty of the technology. We should get it to Nigeria. This was the thing Nigeria saw, with the Nigerian government saw and said, look, this technology is working. Can we get it to Nigeria? And then we said, okay. So we put all our results together across 5 countries for 5 years. We got yield advantage of 33% when there is infestation of both stem borer and fall armyworm. But what happens on that drought? We were expecting not more than 8 to 10%. Across again for 5 years, we tested and we got 17% yield advantage. Now we say, okay, let's go to Nigeria. Nigeria, as I said, came in just last year. When Nigeria came, we said, okay, instead of going to breed 10 years breeding to get the 120, Nigeria, no, you don't need to do that. We selected 59 of the best materials released in East and Southern Africa called drought tego. These are conventional, please bear in mind, conventional. The drought tegos are conventional. Will these conventional ones that have not been bred in Nigeria, will they perform in Nigeria? Let's test and see. So we tested them across 6 locations and then look at what the result. The top 10 materials had about 19% to 30% compared with the best. The best is Oba Super 9. Farmers are familiar with this. We say, okay, so which means though these our conventional drought tolerant material were not bred in Nigeria, they were bred in Southern Africa, East Africa, which means they work in Nigeria. We said, okay, very good. Now let's select the best of these and advance them quickly to one farm. As I talk to you now, the breeder is planting in Mokwa some of these 6 under farmers condition, and then we say, okay, maybe this result we got happened by chance. Let's repeat the trial for another 1 year. Instead of going with the 59, we selected the top 23. We are planting them again this season across 10 sites in Nigeria to see how this conventional material perform in Nigeria. The whole idea is that if we have this one, for example, that is WE5229, we can come with the BT and DT version, that is a drought tolerant and insect protection version that farmers can take. So if you want only this conventional, you go with it. If you come with get the approval for the transgenic, the GMO, you go with the GM. This is what the whole idea of this. So farmers, like other farmers in the world, can have option of what they want. Now quickly, this is what the product looked like. This maize was not developed in Nigeria. It was developed in East and Southern Africa, see the good performance. Conventional, mind you. Then we said, okay, which means the conventionals are working. What if we take this, the drought tolerant gene, the co-shell protein, and the BT, we put them into one maize and test in Nigeria environment? Will there be further drought tolerant and insect protection? Let's see what will happen. So we develop the site in IAR. This is irrigation facility being put together to generate power so that there's constant power when you are irrigating during the dry season. Test the efficacy of this drought tolerant gene in this drought. What happens is that we take water 2 weeks before flowering, up to 2 weeks after flowering, 1 month. Can you imagine a maize staying 1 month without rain? Because that's the most critical time for the maize to lose its product, the ear, the grain in it. You open the maize, it's open, there's no grain inside because it did not pollinate well. So we say, okay, it did not produce the grain you are looking for. We say, okay, let's do that under that condition and see. Now, here is the NBMA people, like we say, Rufus say, they have to do their work. That's why we always say, for the product to get to the farmer, it must go through this necessary scrutiny by the NBMA, and if the approval is safe, please be rest assured it's safe. Whatever you hear anti-GM saying about safety, forget it. Tell them to bring the data if they have data on lack of safety of the product. Now here again is the planting at the confined field trial. This is not farmers field, this is confined field trial at IAR. There is training to support on advocacy, on communication to educate the public about the technology. Now this is the product at 1 week, at 2 weeks, at 5 weeks. You will see there is difference between the non-GM and GM. It's clearer here. Now here is another one, the GM, the non-GM, and then the commercial. Now the impact will not be much here because this was dry season and the bug wasn't feeding so much. They don't have much bug in the air there. But then we have planted again 2 days ago to make sure that under the wet season, let's see how they will perform as evidence. But what is the result? Here is the result. Now this is the GM that has the BT inside for insect protection. It also has the drought trait inside it for increasing drought tolerance, which we call GMO or GM maize. Now the yield advantage you can see is 1.1. This one has the GM, the red has the GM, the yellow has no GM. This is the commercial check that farmers have been growing. The yield advantage is 2.4 tons. If you are a farmer, why would you want to take 2.4 tons instead of taking this one you have been growing? But this is what the crop looks like. Now let's quickly look at that. This is we just selected from at random, and you see how clean this is. This is the non-GM version of the same. The only difference is that this one here, the GM, has the insect protection and drought tolerance. This has no insect protection and drought tolerance. This is the check that the farmers have been growing. See the difference. Obviously, there's no farmer who sees it and who want to go for it. Now under drought, see the performance. The problem with the drought one is sometimes we have problem of managing the drought. You don't want the crop to be overstressed. This look overstressed. Now I'll just go to the challenges. So our challenges are mainly that to get a drought stress can be a nightmare. So we advise that, okay, whenever we have, in all the countries we have good data, let's move it into a country instead of repeating and repeating to get a drought stress. But our real problem is this anti-GM. They are based in South Africa, African Center for Biodiversity, the radio station that talks about anti-GM in Abuja. If we investigate deeply, you will realize that they are linked to this organization. Meanwhile, South Africa has been growing this variety for the GM for the past 20 years, and they are sitting there. Will they tell me that they are not eating GM? And they have vowed that WEMA or TELA product will never get to the farmer. We see. So my conclusion is that yes, biotech crop has come to say, whether we like it or not, the TELA Maize can contribute to addressing food security and impact of climate change. It will address the 4 army worm, as we have seen. All we want now is to have a goodwill and support from the government of Nigeria and the relevant agencies like NBMA to expedite the approval process so that after this ongoing CFTs number 2, instead of repeating and repeating, let them allow us to go into multi-locational trial and on-farm for farmers to see the product and make the choice whether they like it or not. Who can take this quiz for me as a roundup? Unfortunately, I can't see your hand. Which of them is GM? Can anyone from the media answer this for me? There are 2 maize being held by this lady. One of them is GM, one is not GM. Please, if you know which is the GM, just tell me as a roundup. Response?
This is
which
Victor.
one? Quickly, I want to round up. Pardon?
Can you unmute them? Can you unmute them?
Just unmute anyone there, please, to answer this for me, so that is the message I want to take home from this my presentation.
The white maize is the GM.
The white maize is the GM. Why do you say so? Because it's white.
Because it has more seedlings on it.
Okay. So
this
is very interesting. Thank you very much. Very interesting. So I will be as I am here, because they are not used to the yellow maize. They will say it's the yellow that is GM. If you go to Nigeria, they will say the GM is white. Some will say they don't know. But the correct answer to this quiz is that you can never see a 2 years of maize, GM or non-GM, and you say, just looking at them, that one is GM or non-GM. Only when you grow them, if there is drought, you will see the manifestation of the drought gene. If there is insect protection in it, you will see when insect comes, it will protect against insect. But when you bring them out, they have been developed to be attacked, be like everything normal. So when you go to shop, I have seen people going to shop, they say, oh, this grocery shop, this one is GM, this one is not GM. No, except they label it and you know that this label is correct. There's no way you can see 2 GM crop or 2 GM variety and say this one is GM or this one is not GM, except you see what they are manifesting on the field. Thank you. End of my presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.